Good morning. Today is the day of the legend, and I'm feeling a bit apprehensive. Now, I know I can swim 5k. The thing I'm apprehensive about is the temperature of the lake. I know it's a cold lake, a very cold lake, and its deepest point, which we cross over, is 380 meters, which makes it very cold. Weather's forecast is meant to be still. There's no wind going on at the moment, but it will be quite cold this morning. So it's possible that the water temperature on the shoreline will be warmer than the air temperature. I haven't counted that before, but not very often. I'm the only one-legged swimmer in the race, which is hardly surprising, really, considering I'm the only blade runner in Southland Otago. So, yeah, hopefully all goes to plan, and I will be out in roughly 2 hours and back in a warm jumper. Pretty bloody dark round here. The sun is just starting to come up over the hill. I've been here maybe 5 or 10 minutes and I can just start to see the water. It was in pitch blackness before. Only crazy people do this at this time of day, and it's only 6 degrees outside. We are now waiting for the jet boats to arrive. I've got my, what triathletes would call gimp hat, got gloves, got a sock on, and yes, the cameraman has already spotted me and taken a photo. So yes, we're waiting for jet boats, and that is sucky. I just want to get on with it. Get out there, get back again.
Morning, how are you?
Hi, morning.
Morning. Fresh morning for it?
Yes, fresh. It's supposed to get better.
Yeah, we come with our own flotation devices.
No, you just come inside these.
Oh, so that's not
It's close to the shore.
Oh, that's not the
Yeah.
That orange buoy, don't you? We have it on our left. On your left.
Oh, so you go inside it, you said?
Yes,
Yeah,
inside,
inside it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Look for those trees. The buildings, aren't you? That's the tree line from the other side. You can see it. Oh, top of that house. Top of it. Yeah. Middle of the top of that hill. No, I'm not getting out here. Go a bit closer.
A little bit closer.
Yeah. Jeez.
I don't go over here, sort of up to my knee.
I'm not doing another metre further than I have to.
My warm up's the first K.
That's right. Yeah. Just before you're up, like your beach, will be enough. Because I can probably shimmy off the side of there.
I can probably actually pull onto the beach.
Yeah, I can just shimmy off the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, yeah, do that.
Is the idea so you don't touch the bottom or so?
No, it's just I don't want to jump out with one foot and twist my only ankle. But no, I can shimmy off the side, that'll be fine. Hello, hello. I'm going to keep this short because I'm really pretty tired. This is the Whakatipu Legend Haki-te-Kura crossing race report. I did the longest one of all of the events, and we don't have any pictures from the event yet either. Well, that didn't quite go to plan, did it? I was feeling quite nervous about this race, and I've not had race nerves for a lot of years. I mean, it's 10 years since I last did a GB race, and that's when the last time I raced, and it was always sprints, so nothing of any great magnitude. The morning of the race, I was in the bathroom multiple millions of times, struggled to eat my breakfast, but I forced myself, carb loaded the night before as best I could. This was always normal when I was racing on the GB circuit, but when I'm doing sprint races, there's a lot less at stake than there is with a long race like this one. It was pitch dark when the race briefing took place, and the sun only just was rising as the jet boats arrived to take us to the other side, like last year. Man, it seemed like a long way, even in a jet boat that is 50 kilometers an hour. I estimate maybe 40 or so people did this distance, a lot of no-shows, and there were 15 mad people who did it just wearing their togs. It was a beach start for the masses. Well, it was supposed to be, but the eager beavers couldn't quite keep their feet dry, and most of them were knee-deep by the time the hooter sounded. And, yep, as usual, a helpful soul saw me sitting in the shallows and asked if I needed a hand up. No, what I need is a leg, an extra leg. So, the water was not too cold. Last year I did the 3.8. It was bloody freezing. Even being in the lake for 3 whole hours, I wasn't cold. I'm glad I had my neoprene gloves, though. All the same, definitely a ton warmer. I knew I had one buoy to look out for, just one, and it was on the Kelvin Heights shoreline, 3 kilometres on the other side. I had to take a left turn at it. But, heck, how do you see a buoy when it's 3k away? Yeah, I felt like that opposite coastline never got any closer, and there was nothing to sight on. Realistically, only a bloody big mountain in the background. Even when I was less than a kilometre from the buoy, I couldn't see it. It was red, close to the shoreline, and in the shade of the mountain. So I was asked to turn right and head for this buoy, and then turn left at it. I don't know whether that's where my extras distance came from, but anyway, I was looking for it and I couldn't even see it. It was about that point that the wheels started to fall off. Now, I have done 5k before in training, but the first 3k across the lake had taken its toll. Despite the relative calm and warm water for this time of year, autumn, I knew at this point that I was running low on fuel. I started to feel dizzy and then nauseous due to the low blood sugar. The odd boat zipping in and out of the bay, which I was now in, was creating a side swell, which wasn't helping matters. Those last 2k felt like they went on forever. I truly and seriously did not know if I would physically be able to make it. But I'd be damned if I'd gotten this far, and I was going to give up now. With the help of the 2 kayakers I had as company, and encouragement and banter to keep me smiling, yeah, I was the back marker, but I wasn't until I got to the shoreline. We started our way through that last stretch to the finish line. The crowd had gathered at the beach and were waving banners and lining the finish chute, cheering me in. It brought me to tears, so thank you to each and every one of those people. A special thanks also to Richie and Lucas, the organisers of this event, for their constant encouragement and truly did mitigate all risks to make this a safe race for a disabled swimmer. But final thanks have to go to the couple who came to the shoreline and looked after me for the next few hours whilst I tried not to faint or vomit, fed me gels and took me for lunch before they would let me drive home on my own. Yes, it surely was an epic swim, and I'm super fucking proud of myself for actually completing it, even if it did appear to be 700 metres further than advertised according to my Garmin. So, no surprise, I was the only one-legged swimmer. Does that mean I won my age category? I reckon it does. That couple also asked me what my next big epic adventure was going to be. Can I just get over this one first? Because honestly, I have not pushed myself to that sort of limit for a very long time. I can think of 2 races that popped to mind straight away where I did a similar thing and ran on empty for too long and I almost, Well, one of them was Emberton Country Park and it was a qualifier. I think I did qualify, but I got the nutrition wrong and I always have trouble with eating after races. I'm not one of those people that feels like they want to eat a horse. It makes me do the opposite. And I really have to force myself to eat and drink things after races in order to not feel sick. On this particular occasion, I had not. And I was unwell for the whole of the rest of the day. So I learned very quickly that I needed to force myself to drink post-race smoothies. The second one was Eilat, Israel. Now, I had underestimated the heat and its dehydrating effect in Israel, and I wanted to get a qualifying time, and I knew where I was in the positions. I knew that if I didn't let anybody pass me, I would get an instant qualifying slot, being top 3. So I bust my ass on the run leg to not let the next person pass me, and it came down to a sprint finish. And my finish line photo is me, Sparko, on the other side because I have collapsed. So I have done this to myself before, but geez, it's been a long time, and no, I wouldn't recommend it. I haven't yet eaten a proper meal. I have stopped for coffee, have been drinking water like it's going out of fashion. I had 4 bottles of water in my car, and I'd drunken 3.5 of them by the time I got home. I've been munching on little snacks here and there, toast and all, and sort of like easy sort of things. I reckon it'll probably be tomorrow before I'm like feeling completely back to normal. And I had to sit on a chair on the beach for a really long time before I actually could stand up and walk up the beach. When I got out of the water, we had the whole finished thing sorted. Richie was on his knee, he knew what he was doing, and there was no way I was going to be walking up that beach to the finish line. I was going to be sitting right here on the shore, and they brought the chair to me. So, yes, I'm really bloody proud of myself. It wasn't the most ideal way to get across the lake. And I could have done things better, probably more nutrition in the breakfast, and the fact that I had done all the practice races midway through the day, so I'd probably had 2 meals before I had swum. So if you're thinking of doing those sorts of distances, I reckon you could easily knock out a 3.8k swim on its own on an ordinary meal and a bit of training, but once you get past that, it's really quite a different story entirely.